that down. Let's move on to this, shall we? You guys know that last week, it might have been even been 2 weeks ago, got announced that AMC Theaters was going to be adding yet another little commercial slot. Because you know what we really need, you know what moviegoers really want? They don't want you to start the movie when you say it's going to start. They want you to start it as later after the start time as possible.
Bruh.
And be inconsistent with it. You know, I got screwed over with 28 Years Later. Ann and I went to go see it. I think the movie started like 7. So we wander into the theater at 7:20, which should have still been 5-10 minutes to go. And we missed the first 5 minutes of the movie. So not only do they keep adding longer and longer trailer and commercial times, they go inconsistent with it to purposefully screw people out and try to force them to come in earlier. Well, according to a new story in the Hollywood Reporter, audiences more and more are catching on to this. And now they're making it pointless to show all these trailers because less than half, according to the Hollywood Reporter, less than half of the audience is actually showing up at the movie's stated start time now. That's not the way it used to be.
No.
That's not the way it used to be even just a couple of years ago. But this is what the Hollywood Reporter said. They said the following. The decline in attendance at the start of trailer play in New York and Los Angeles, the two main movie-going cities, the country's two largest movie-going markets, is particularly noticeable. And in recent screenings that have been observed by the Hollywood Reporter, attendees arrived after the stated showtime and as trailers were playing, a sign that consumers are recognizing what chains are doing. So far this year, only 42% of LA moviegoers were in their seats in time to see the trailers, compared to 55% from just last year. That's a 7%. That's a 13% swing in just 1 year. In New York, that stat is likewise 42% this year compared to 47% last year. So, in a great fuck around and find out moment, movie theaters continue to try to screw over moviegoers by not giving them what they paid for, which is, hey, I bought a ticket for a 6:30 movie. Crazy that I should expect a movie at 6:30, and been shoving more and more commercials and trailers down their throats when they paid to be there. Again, it'd be another thing if this was a free movie. Free movies, got to show me some commercials first. I get it, no problem. But they paid $10, $15, $20, $25 to be there. And now there's no point in showing these trailers, commercials at all because the audiences aren't even coming. And Rob, that is going to become a growing trend. Which, by the way, it will also become a growing trend as movie theaters realize that moviegoers are becoming more astute to the situation and coming later. They will double their efforts in screwing over moviegoers by being more and more inconsistent about when the movie actually takes. They're going to try to punish moviegoers for not coming like good little obedient sheep and sitting their asses down and watching their commercials that they paid to be in the theater for. So anyway, moviegoers are starting to pick up on this. Is there any hope here that the better angels in the movie industry and the movie theater owners and stuff like that will recognize this as saying, wow, people really hate that we play this many trailers and commercials. Maybe we should make some adjustments. Or do you think they'll go the other route and just try to punish moviegoers more and try to trick moviegoers more by becoming more and more inconsistent about when they actually start the times? I don't know. How do you see this? And what's your biggest takeaway from this report?
Well, I think it's a good question to be asking because, look, I'll tell you, when I go to my local theater, they have a nice bar. I'll sit at the bar, chat with the bartenders or the manager who was ever there because I have a reserved seat. So if I have a reserved seat, I can literally go in when the first trailer is going to start. Like, I don't have to go sit down early. The whole point of ads was like you wanted to go get a good seat.
Yeah.
So you're getting there early. But if you have a reserved seat, there's no reason to do that. I just don't even go into the theater anymore. But not until like the very end, usually right when the showtime is happening, because at my theater, it's pretty consistent. So, but I used to like to go and sit in my seat like 10 minutes beforehand, 15 minutes, just to settle down and just enjoy, figure out exactly the seats recline or what. I don't do that anymore. I don't do it anymore. I'm like, I don't want to go in because you know what I really hate too? The resolution of commercials is usually lower than the actual movie itself.
Yeah. Because they don't
And-
produce them at that resolution.
No, and I find it annoying. I'm going in there and watching lower resolution images, and I'm watching sometimes local commercials, so I hate that. I hate that. So I think somebody's going to one day do a study and figure out that the people that are paying for these commercials are not getting the bang for their buck that they thought they were getting, and they're going to stop doing it anyway.
Yeah.
And I think it's the kind of practice that no one likes it. It diminishes the experience. Nobody wants to see commercials in the movie theater. I understand that movie theaters I will say this, I get the idea of needing to maximize dollars, because obviously midweek, they don't make as much money as the weekends, and studios got to help theaters eat. Movie theaters got to eat, John. So I understand why they have commercials, but it's self-defeating, I think.
But when you need more revenue, you have two options and two philosophies you can pursue, right? Philosophy number one, which is the philosophy the movie theaters and the movie. And by the way, it's not just the movie theaters' fault. It's also the movie industry's fault as a whole.
Yeah.
Philosophy number one, which seems to be the philosophy that they're pursuing, is how can we screw our customers to get it?
Right.
Philosophy number two is how can we get more money from our consumers by offering them more value? How can we, for example, AMC just recently raised the prices of AMC A-List by a couple of bucks, but you know what they did in return? They added 4 more movies you could see a month with your A-List. So they increased the cost, but they gave us additional value
Right.
in exchange for doing it. What value are you giving the consumer by tricking them, manipulating them, and in some cases punishing them into watching commercials for a movie they paid to be in? Are you offering them discounts on their tickets? No, you're not. Are you offering them, hey, show up in time to watch the trailers, we'll give you some free popcorn? No. They're taking philosophy number one, which is F you and give us your money and give us your time.
Yeah.
Let us steer your time, as opposed to going another direction, which is like, let us figure out a way to offer value to the audience for this. And here's the thing, it's going to bite, it's already biting them in the ass. Less and less people are now showing up at all to even watch these things.
Yeah.
And so these are going to become worthless. And by the way, I just want to point this out. In their press release, when AMC decided to add this new ad spot, they said, well, many of our competitors have been doing this for a few years now with no adverse effects. No adverse effects? Rob, maybe I'm reading the wrong reports, but from everything I can tell, movie theater attendance is in decline. There's no one reason why it's happening, but if you don't think that one of the reasons that not the reason, not the top, but if you don't believe that one of the reasons contributing to the decline in moviegoing is the fact that you keep making the moviegoing experience worse and worse, like telling an audience member, come to a 7:00 show, and maybe if you're lucky, we'll start it at 7:30, which is another $20 you're paying your babysitter, by the way. If you don't think that's one of the reasons for your decline, you're not naive, you're a fucking idiot. All right, it's just that simple. So anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? According to a little report here in the Hollywood Reporter, fewer and fewer people, now less than half the people in moviegoing, show up to a movie when they say it's going to start now, rendering whatever trailers or commercials you're playing completely useless anyway. And do you think this is a trend that's going to continue? It's gone up 13% just in the last year. Whatever you guys think about this, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.